Convention is all about information sharing and information exchange. And for chemicals such as asbestos, chrysotile asbestos, which is internationally recognized as a problem, as a human carcinogen, the frustration I think we saw from some of the civil society organizations is well founded. The convention is simply a way to share information, to prevent unwanted trade. It does not have any impact on the continued use at national level.
A toxics-free future! Woo! Woo!
It's really a great honor for me to be with you this morning to open the Technology Fair. As you know, it's an initiative that we're trying now to bring, as per the request of the parties, to look at how we can engage the private sector.
Science, it's bring us to the technology. We hope that, especially in developing countries, we can bring this technology to our countries where we can soundly manage our waste and chemicals. Thank you very much.
Those are highly hazardous chemicals, they are persistent, they are accumulative in the body, they are endocrine disruptors. So those pops shouldn't be presented in children's toys.
At the end of the day, it's about protecting the right to life, the right to health, and the most vulnerable in our society, children, women, indigenous peoples, and other communities that are disproportionately impacted by toxic chemicals.
Bringing in perspectives from youth and women who tend to be on the margins of these conversations really makes a difference.
We have found in our reports that we have progressed quite a bit. We have a Minamata Convention, we have almost taken lead out of petrol. We now have an alliance to take lead out of paint, but there's still a lot to do.
As we negotiate the legality of different elements of these treaties, just because something is legal does that mean at the end of the day that it is moral.
What is interesting is with the human rights approach, it also helps not only to give more policy coherence, but also more people mobilization. Because the very first thing when you think about your own situation, when you are affected, is what are your rights? How did it happen that I am now sick because of these chemicals over there?
Thank you very much for working so enthusiastically and positive together.
We need to be flexible to reach our goals.
We all come together, work together, according to the theme of the 2017 BRS course, that we must start detoxifying the world.
This itinerant module is here for the COP, but it's used mainly for communication about citizens, architects, who we try to cover all the people.
Because there will be a lot of talk in there, good, necessary talk, but also fantastic that people can be a little bit engaged in more practical terms. And here they can make the slogans and use lead-free paint. This is a part of our big search to achieve a pollution-free planet. And of course we can do that if we just work together. I really wish we could all stand here, because this is such a beautiful view. Hundreds of people coming from all corners of the world, from big and small nations, from developed and developing nations, from civil society and business, coming together to resolve global problems and to make life better for people out there.
To guarantee food for all, it is crucial to ensure that pesticides do not threaten pollinators.
We all together are increasingly recognizing the importance of the chemical and waste agenda as the catalyst for sound economic and social systems.
Parties are obliged to take into account the risks to their health of contaminated food and water as well as pollution. And every state, bar one, has ratified that convention.
Countries need to prioritize sound management of chemicals and waste, integrating it into other environmental protection issues in coordination with other countries.
The quality of ideas that have emerged are just really quite astounding, and so many different themes themselves have emerged. Partnerships, everybody working together, not just at government level, but also at regional level as well. Also issues of education and, of course, gender, food preservation, carrying waste across borders. The chemicals which are released into our environment, we are all affected. So why can't we view the fight through the gender prism?
Are there any objections to that proposal? I see none, and it is therefore like this decided.
It is so adopted. Adopted. And let me just inform you that we have just listed the 50th chemicals in Annex 3.
Almost we achieve more than 80% from what we are expecting, especially under Basel. We adopt all the guidelines, especially for POPs guidelines, and for Mercury also guidelines as well for the ESM and partnership. For joint COP, we are looking to implement all the decision was taken here, but ambitious program to reach the Sustainable Goals 2030. It is very important, and we hope we can succeed.
We're into that phase now where getting something listed is more difficult. There are a few more unknowns, and that's troubling for some countries because we shouldn't let a lack of science stop us from listing something. The good science, the quality science, that's the magic bullet for propelling it forward.
That it is time for us to look seriously at how we can manage chemicals and waste in a sound manner. And I've been overwhelmed by the attention given to just the, using the hashtag detox on Twitter and elsewhere. So I think this was the most important message to come out of this COP.
We need to go back home and look at our plans that we have put in place, look at our strategies we put in place, and then convince our stakeholders back home and the entire population, create the necessary awareness that the world has been toxified, so to speak, with chemical contaminants. So it's high time we detoxify these contaminants.
These debates, sometimes also emotional and very strong debates in plenary, they were done this year in a constructive manner. Of course, there were interventions prompting some reactions, strong reactions to it. But I never had the impression that we lost a basic positive and constructive approach. We were always able to come back in a positive mood. And we found solutions, like for example on the effectiveness of the Rotterdam Convention, one of the very difficult issues with the proposal to amend the Convention after a very intensive debate with ups and downs. We were now able to find a way forward and to launch the work in an informal contact group.
We realize by listening to the discussions how much there is left to do. So while we've made progress, there's still a lot of work ahead. If we can continue to have that spirit of cooperation and goodwill, then I think that bodes very well for the future of the convention.
I thank you for your commitment that you've given to the COPs. Yes, I know we haven't finished the work, and that is the whole point of us looking forward to meeting in another 2 years. But I promise you, within those 2 years, we'll continue with our work, we'll continue to discuss with you, we'll continue pushing forward on implementation, because you've made your message clear. We need more implementation on the ground. And as we move forward, I give you that engagement that we will continue to support you and work with you as we implement the sound management of chemicals. Thank you.